What's up, you little bass donkeys? Have you ever gone on a trip and really wished you could bring your gear, but just wasn't sure how? Today in our video, we're going to talk about how to pack and ship all of your rods so that you can fish with your own stuff rather than having to rely on a guide's gear. So step number one is to gather materials. And you're going to need some bubble wrap, Scotch tape, packing tape, PVC caps, PVC itself. I went with 3.5 inches in diameter, and then obviously your rods. And you'll see me using these rod socks. Those are optional. I think it'll just give us a little bit more safety when traveling, but I don't think you necessarily need to have it. You also want a pair of scissors and a saw. Step number two, we figured out which rods we're going to bring. The longest one I'm bringing is 7 foot 10 inches. So I want to give myself 2 inches total of clearance when I'm marking my PVC tube. So if it's 7'10", we want 8 feet. We're going to go ahead and measure this. Got my number right here. And it's marked. So now we know where we need to cut it. Step number 3 is actually cutting the PVC. Like I mentioned in the last video, you got city hands and don't really own very many tools. I suppose you can do this with a hacksaw or a handsaw. I figured I'd come over here, feature my boy Bluegill and Miller, give him a follow, and use his gear. So pretty simple. We already made the mark. Now we're going to cut it. That's it. Alright, so we've identified the rods that we want to take. Now we have to match them up end over end. And what you're going to want to do is make sure that your 2 longest rods are facing the opposite way. And then your next 2 longest rods are facing the opposite way. And then your next 2 longest rods are facing the opposite way. And once you have that, you want to make sure that the butts are outside of the rod tips. So now we have that in there. I mean, it's snug, it's not going anywhere. It doesn't matter how bad this thing is moved around. That thing is staying perfectly still inside this casing. And then the last thing that we need to do from a packing standpoint is to add the end caps. Now, if you want to know if you've done it right, when you shake it back and forth, you shouldn't hear anything. I mean, it should be like shaking a solid piece of plastic. There shouldn't be any give going left or right or up or down. We've got it packed now, so we have to figure out how we're going to get it down there. I'm going to go to UPS and a FedEx store and figure out which way is the cheapest. So I'm outside here now at the UPS store, and we're going to see how much they're going to charge. Just went to UPS. They quoted me at 40 bucks to ship it down there one way. So now I'm here at FedEx, seeing if they're going to give me a better price. Well, that was a success. So just went into FedEx, and it's going to cost me 35 bucks to get down there. And then we printed off a return address for them to ship from the hotel. It's only 25 bucks to get back. So from Baltimore to Florida and back, all in, it's cost me 60 bucks to get my own rods down there. Highly recommend.